We lit live. This is WBBC Chicago. Yeah. 77.3, your hottest digital station.
Now in digital HD sound.
What's going on there, people? Radio Land. It's the one and only DJ Malone, Chicago 77.3, the best place to be at on any day. Ready? How you guys doing? I'm doing blessed and highly favored, and I hope you is too. People, I got greatness into the building with me today, and you guys know I really like people that like to vibe out and just do their damn thing, man. I want you guys to really get in tune with this cat because I think they are going to be on the rising. I ain't going to hold you. I really do think that, man. Go introduce yourself real quick.
What's up, y'all? My name is Jocelyn Kennedy. I'm from the DMV, and if you don't know, that's DC, Maryland, and Virginia. I'm 22 years old. I'm a multi-instrumentalist, producer, singer, songwriter. I do it all. And I'm just happy to share, my music with the world, and I'm excited for y'all to listen.
Jocelyn, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good today. How you doing?
Man, I'm happy for you, man. I'm doing good, but I'm happy even more now talking to you. It's been a crazy day with my car. I had to go get it fixed, and it's just been a crazy day, man.
There's always one issue after another, huh?
Yeah, it's when they say it rains, it pours. That's when they say.
That's absolutely true.
So let's go ahead and dive into this. When did your love for music start, do you think?
Ooh, that's a good question. My love for music, it's kind of been present throughout my whole life, if I'm being honest. My dad, he's a musician, and a lot of the time I would spend with him was working on music. So he originally started me off on drums.
Okay.
And I remember the first time he had me sit down and play drums, I tried to jump at it and do it all at the same time.
Yeah.
But then I couldn't stay on beat because I hadn't had practice or anything.
Okay.
So he was like, all right, just hit the kick drum. And then I was just hitting the kick drum. And then he was like, all right, you got that down. And he was like, all right, now add the snare drum. Okay. And slowly, I kind of built it up. And I think that's largely how my approach to music is. I mean, I do so many things, but it's because I've had the patience and persistence to recognize that even if I can't do it now, I know that there's nothing that's going to stop me from working hard to get there,
I like that.
Yeah. But, yeah, music has always just been something that's really in tune with me. So,
inspirational wise, who's you listening to?
Ooh, the first artist I want to shout out is an artist named Greek, who's from Maryland, Greek. He makes amazing music. I love listening to it every time I hear his music, and it's always just new, inspiring sounds. My dad is a big inspiration, I think, as we kind of said. Listen to him jam all the time in the basement. It really influenced my style and my sound. And my brother too. He's a musician as well.
Okay.
And other than that, I love jazz music. Wes Montgomery is my favorite jazz guitarist. I love 70s work. So the Funkadelics, I really like specifically their guitarist Eddie Hazel.
Okay.
Is amazing. The Beatles, of course, are always the influence. But I love rap music. I have a profound appreciation and love for rap music. It really made me, I think, more of a complete human being.
I like that. I like hearing that. I think too is that when you are in from a musician standpoint, when you hear music like boom bap or even from the 90s, it gives you appreciation growing into it because the rhythmics of it. You get what I'm saying? And you can understand, because from being a musician standpoint, you understand, okay, the clap is this and clap is that, or the boom is that, or the kick is that, or the snare, because you understand it from a musical standpoint.
Yeah, definitely. I started, when I really got into music, I was about 15 or 16. Okay. And I started with making beats on FL Studio, and I would post them on all these different Reddit forums.
Yeah.
Just to get people's feedback and whatnot. And during that period, doing that, I actually met a lot of friends who kind of helped me develop as a person and as a musician as well. I have one friend out in California. His name is Jesus Macy.
Okay.
And he's had a profound influence on my life. Just talking about, his perspective on what he's been through. But yeah, I don't know. Music, I think, can really connect people in such interesting ways if we let it to. If we allow it to.
You know what, man? I think a lot of times people and whenever I DJ, it's a vibe. So it's like I always love whenever we have those intimate settings and we just catch a vibe. And it's just, I don't know how to explain it. It's a trance or whatever, but it's a vibe.
People often say like making music is like catching lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
That I do think that. So when did you know that I think I really want to take this full time?
It was recently. My dad passed away in December, and him being such an influence on me and my music and my life, and also just like, when I feel like someone that important to you passes and they're sharing their experiences of their life with you and maybe their regrets or the things that they wish they did. He really wished he had pursued music harder. He said he said too, like, I wish I didn't work so hard and rather like spent time doing music and spending time with my family. And I mean, that made me look at like what I was doing. I'm 22 years old. I feel like in many ways I had an older father. In many ways, having an old dad, I knew like he wasn't gonna be able to see everything I can do.
Yeah.
So I felt like I was always rushing myself, trying to do things the correct way or whatnot. But it only brought me to a point where I felt like I was super stressed out. I was a teacher before I pursued music full time. I just graduated college last year in May.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. But I was a teacher, and I really have like a want to help community and just help people in general. And I think teaching is one of the best ways to do that. But unfortunately, like just the timing didn't line up for me being able to kind of support those students for as long as I wanted to at the beginning.
That's real.
But yeah, sometimes, I really commend all those teachers because it is a stressful environment and they are doing God's work for real.
Hey, but you know what? I think too is that it's all, like you said, it's all about timing. So down the line, there may be a time where maybe we come back to that. You get what I'm saying? And then even at a more grander scale, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
sometimes we have to live out our journeys to fulfill other things.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, like I have kind of three pillars I base my life on, and it's community, creativity, and like a relationship with yourself.
Bro.
And I think that no matter what I do throughout my music career, it's always going to be based around those three items. And like, I don't know, if I'm a musician and I'm getting like attention, it's not just attention on me, it's attention on the community that raised me, the influences I've had. And I think that's important to share. And it's important to share like the attention that you get to the communities you're in and the issues that are within them as well.
Yeah. I think what I like about you, man, is that your creativity is that I like the fact that you don't box yourself into like what the world is supposed to see of you or whatever the case may be. I like when a painter paints whatever and says, "Hey, yo, man, I felt this way," then that's what I express.
Thank you. I really try. I think that a lot of artists can really get trapped in their head when they're creating, because they might think, oh, well, this isn't going to sound a way that's popular on the radio, or this isn't going to sound a way that people are going to understand. Or even like I criticize all the stuff that I do to the finest detail. But I found recently that that's kind of it takes away from the whole musical experience.
Exactly.
Like we were saying, music is trapping lightning in a bottle. A lot of times, just like you need to record whatever you do and like finish it to the greatest extent that you can whenever you're making a song, and then let it sit for a little bit and come back to it in like a week and listen to it and see how you feel.
Yeah.
A lot of times when we listen to our music and listen straight back to it, we're like, oh, this is trash. And then you come back to it later and you're like, oh, this is some of the best stuff I've ever heard.
And to me, it's like appreciation. So a lot of my mixes, especially when I did my producer days, what a lot of stuff when I was just throwing stuff at the wall and there was no quote unquote structure to it. I'm just throwing out whatever goes to the wall. And I look back at those years and I'm like, I was so free back then. You get what I'm saying? So It's like those things I think are missed sometimes because we're so wrapped into what the constraints that we have. But those sometimes when you just have it freely, those be the best ones.
Yeah. And I think especially now, like people are craving human connection,
Yeah,
with like social media, people have more ways to connect than ever, but are less connected than ever. There's like
that's
a
real.
a male loneliness epidemic in a lot of the developed countries in the West. Um, and there's also just generally among Gen Z a big want for community and connection. And I feel like that imperfection that you place within your music is connecting another person to your humanity. And a lot of times, like the polished stuff that we see, it actually, to me, kind of removes the soul of the song to an
Mhm.
extent, because you're removing the connection to the artist that was recording the music.
That's real. I like that. That's a bar right.
Thank you,
That's a
thank you.
bar right
Bars. Only speaking
there.
bars.
Definitely. All right, so let's get into the music real quick, man. Now I know we talked about "Stay,"
Hmm.
and but the single that we're pushing is "Stressin." So
Correct.
let's talk about this. How did this all come about?
Oh, let's see. So when I quit my job, to pursue music full time, I had about 30 unfinished songs.
Okay.
And the first thing I said, or I asked myself is like, or the first task I put myself on was figuring out what is my first drop going to be. And with my dad passing, I was like, there's nothing better than to do songs that were heavily influenced by him.
Mm.
Um, so Stressin was one of the first songs I recorded um, within like a 2 week period, um, that actually ended up on the EP.
Yeah.
And it started out with I would just jam it for a while, play around. I made the song about like 4 months ago, but it hasn't actually come together until like the past month or whatnot.
Yeah.
Um, but that song is just, I make a lot of my songs where it sounds like it's like a relationship or like a love song.
Bro.
But the relationship I'm talking about is my relationship to my job.
That's real. That's
Yeah.
real.
And I think sometimes like that analogy kind of it's fun to play with that because you can provoke people's imagination a lot.
I like that. In all actuality, that's how like it is. It's like when
Mhm.
you view something, it's like any job or person, you have a bondship or a relationship, and
Yeah,
you conform whatever identity there is into a relationship. And I don't think a lot of people kind of really think about that because there is a form of identity with every form of relationship, businessship, whatever. There's a
hmm,
form of identity there.
for sure. Yeah. Um, and other than that, the song Stressin', I use like some new studio techniques I haven't really used before. I make all my stuff uh, predominantly like by myself in my room. I mix it, I produce it, master it,
I
record it,
love that.
everything. But I started using some new techniques, and I guess I'll just say one thing about that. But I bought a preamp for my guitar,
Okay.
and it's the same preamp that Eddie Hazel would use from the Funkadelics.
Okay.
And I just love like the sounds that he was able to produce, both with like the skill of his guitar, but also like the tools he was using to like the brush he was using to paint.
Yeah, I like that. I
Thank
think
you.
I think too is and I can appreciate it because I started like I'm always been a DJ. That's always been me. But I did on the side I did producing. So I
Hmm.
use Fruity Loops, Audacity, Studio One, Machine Micro, the drum kits, everything. So I have a great appreciation for you because I know how that is coming from there.
Yeah, it's I don't know, like producing is something it's like it's really hard to get into because there's so many complicated like steps to make like bring your idea like into reality. But I think like the more you do it and the more fun you have with it and the more you practice, like it almost becomes second nature.
That's real.
Um,
It will. Yeah,
yeah.
it does. It does. All right. Well, you want to go ahead and introduce the track real quick, and we can go ahead and play it.
Yep. This is Stressin' by Jocelyn Kennedy on all platforms now.
Make sure you guys go check out the Spotify and the EP's out right now. Correct?
Yeah, the whole EP is out.
Oh man,
Five songs.
how many tracks is on the EP?
5 songs.
Okay, that's what's
Yeah.
up. All right, let's go ahead and get it going. Make sure you guys get in tune with everything, man. And stressing right here, Chicago 77.3. When it come right back, stay in tune. Let go.
Could you live in a world where everyone knows your name? You give anything to exchange the pain. Refrain from misery that's besides the shame. Reframe what's above and who we have to blame. Yeah, you got me stressing, stressing all week. Yeah, you got me stressing, up and down these streets, You're my little weapon. I'm your fantasy, treat you as a treasure, 'cause that is all I see, and I know that you care for me. I know I'm your love. I know that you're here for me. Baby, that's not
Chicago 77.3, man. That was stressing right there. Make sure you guys go check it out and everything else like that. Off of the EP, What's the Word? I really, I like the simplicity of that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
So let me ask you this. I know stressing is a good one. I want to talk about Stay because I feel like Stay is not just a love letter, but it's powerful to me. And I really like that you dedicated for your pops and everything. Explain to me about the emotions about Stay.
Yeah. So Stay is kind of the song that's been with me my whole life. My dad originally wrote a large part of the song, like the main riff in, I think it was like the 80s or something. And he just continued playing it. It's just a, simple blues riff that's really easy to jam to. But it's when I started learning guitar, which was about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, it was all I'd play. I would just keep playing the same blues riff over and over again. It drove my friend Colin crazy because he was like, "Oh, that's the one. You keep playing." And I don't know. It's just it really made me feel like I was with my dad. In those days too, even when he was still around, it like helped me feel a connection to my dad. And I actually am really appreciative that I got the chance to show my dad that song before he passed. I originally wrote like all the lyrics over it a year ago, and I recorded like a rough demo, and I sent it to him, and I've never seen him so excited about, some work that I've
It's
made.
amazing.
He was going up to my mom. He was like, listen to this. You need to hear this. Um, and it was just wonderful to the whole process of the song and, the lyrics too. Um, and in many ways, like the whole theme of stay is connected to a much deeper, like familial, um, narrative. I think like my dad, his father had like abandoned them basically when he was just like an infant. Um, so in many ways, like he was asking and begging like his dad to stay, and the same with my mother. Um, so there's kind of like this like I don't know, rotating like not curse, but like rotating need for people to have their loved ones stay.
I get that.
Yeah.
Get that. Okay, and that's very deep. I enjoy the fact that you said that with me, man.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Let me ask you this: how are you doing mentally?
Mentally, I think I'm in a good place right now. I knew that, you know, quitting your job and pursuing music, and also, your dad passing, and also just the general state of the world. Um, I knew that it would be a challenge and a struggle. Um, so I tried to do as many things I could to help myself kind of cope with that. Um, I have my journal right here. This is how you know I use it because it's right next to me. And I write all my songs in this journal, and I journal every day. Just like it's literally just a conversation with myself, and a check-in. And I also go to therapy. I've gone to therapy for about like 5 years since I was about 17, on and off. And both journaling and therapy have been really helpful resources for me. Um, but I think more than those two is music. My dad, before he passed, he told me about how, he made a lot of songs, a lot of them were sad songs, but all of them helped him get through his days.
I like that. I think too the music is so therapeutic to me, man. I love it. Without music, I don't know where I'll be. I don't know. I'll do my research. I like to do my research on people, and when I go to your site, you got it to where you can book a session with you, man.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Man, I really enjoy this. I really enjoy this, and so if people want to do that, what can they expect from that?
So yeah, on my website, jocelynkennedy.com, I have a place where you can reserve either a mixing and mastering session with me, where I will both mix and master your record, or a in-person, uh, like basically just like a studio time, but it's a mobile studio time. I live in the DMV, and there's so many great artists up and down the East Coast.
Yeah.
And this is like a business where I'm bringing all of the production skills and the materials to the artist.
Okay.
And I'm trying to like streamline the process. I think, we're at a point in technology in which the technology is there to be super mobile and make music like in a multitude of different environments. And I think like really that's going to bring out so much, from myself as an artist, from the artists that I work with, just being able to kind of go from different environments and catch the energy and put it into a track and catch that lightning and put it in the bottle.
I like that. I like that. I really do. I know we're coming down to nitty gritty. Where can the people find you? Of course, the website, but also how they can connect with you, get everything. What's the word on that?
So yeah, on my website has my Instagram, my Twitch. I stream every Monday, Thursday, and Friday, 5 p.m. EST. I also have a Twitter. I don't know. I'm trying to be on all of the different social medias. It's kind of a lot to keep up with.
It does, man. I'm not good with I got a person that just tell me, hey, yo, man, this is where you're gonna be at right now. Okay. Cool,
I wish I had a person that did that.
So,
but my main two, I think, are Instagram and TikTok, and you can just search up Jocelyn Kennedy. There's two Y's in Jocelyn for Instagram and TikTok. But yeah.
Okay. I like your name.
Thank you.
Who you are, and
yeah.
I really do appreciate that, man. I really do.
I appreciate that.
Before you go, where do you hope to see yourself in the next 3 years?
In the next 3 years, I mean, so for me, a big goal of mine is like, if I'm able to sustainably create a career with music in which I don't have to worry about, paying my rent and making sure I'm fed. I just want to travel. The world has so much to offer, and I feel like I've never left the United States. And I feel like just, you know, being immersed within different cultures gives you perspective and allows you to be part of something outside of just yourself.
Yeah.
And, throughout college, I appreciated all the different like cultures I was exposed to and and relationships I built with people. And I want to like continue to do that. And I would love to like make music and travel around the world and, get inspired by the people I'm working with and hopefully, help the communities that I'm also joining. Because I think a lot of, tourism can be kind of, it's all for the tourists, not for the people there. But that's not what I'm about. But I'm really about just, connecting with people, making music, trying to make the most of this life for real.
Hey, that's the goal right there.
That's
the goal. Jocelyn, I do appreciate you being on here with me. If you can, you're going to say your name, and I'm rocking with DJ Malone.
What's up? This is Jocelyn Kennedy, and I'm rocking with DJ Malone.
Boom. Fireworks. Boom. Explosions, everything in between, man. Make sure you guys go check out the whole EP. Don't just check out the song. Check out What's the Word on Spotify, everywhere, man. Make sure you guys lock it in. Go favorite the STRESSIN joint and the Stay joint. Well, favorite all of them, because I know you're on your phone. So they do that. So with all that being said, it's the one and only DJ Malone, Chicago 77.3. We out.
Peace.
Wow.
We lit live. This is WBBC Chicago. Yeah. 77.3. Your hottest digital station.
Now in digital HD sound.